Welcome back to Every Week We Follow. So today we have got a England Villa combo, mix up episode for you. The two main things we're going to be doing is going over a Villa England, so players who were Villa players, not loanees. They have to be full-time Villa players who play for England, had England caps, not just in the squad. And we're going to go through a tier list. And then at the end of that, we'll also have our all-time 11 from those players. So, stay tuned for that if you can stay with us long enough. Gary, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. Just to emphasise what James said, don't forget to kind of like and subscribe. If you're going to disagree with us on any of these things that we're going to put forward in the next 20 minutes or so, then
I'm sure you will.
Sure you will. Feel free to drop us in some comments and kind of let us know what we may have missed out.
And also, we're very worried that we might have missed a player or two out because the source that we actually used didn't even have John Terry in it. Where I realised this morning when he was on Talk Sport, I was like, oh my God, John Terry. And weirdly, Nicky Shorey, which is just a random one that kind of popped into my head.
That is so random, mate. I think I remember Nicky Shorey playing.
I was Googling just loads of players going, did Matty Target play for the England squad? And I was like, James Chester? No, he played for Wales. So I was like,
go on. Anyway, thoughts and comments, and just let us know if we make any mistakes because we usually do. So but we want to hear from you. So drop us on. Exactly. I think I want to start the show, mate, just saying a massive congratulations to Rashford, Rodgers, and Konza for being picked. Fair play to them. Unfortunately, Watkins missed out, didn't he? Why did he miss out, James? Why wasn't he picked? I don't understand.
It's an injury.
I can't fathom injury.
He would have been in the team. There's no way Solanke's better than Watkins.
Mate, I want a flashing graphic here that says missed 25 chances.
He would have been in the team. But interestingly, all the in-laws, obviously, they're Forest fans, and they were like going, how's not a single Forest player in the team? How's Morgan Gibbs-White not there? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, it might just be the way they play. It doesn't suit like what Tuchel wants. But I would have, personally, as a Villa fan, I would have rather than pick Morgan Gibbs-White than Morgan Rodgers, so that at least he doesn't get injured.
Well, Gibbs-White's been drafted in there, and I don't know if someone was sent home, but he's definitely there now. Morgan Gibbs-White.
Oh, he is, isn't he? Yeah. So I can't remember who went.
But no, I don't know. I won't go too much into it because I don't really care. Like, if I'm honest about England, like, I know it's really bad.
But what we're going to do now will be interesting. So we've also got our tier list. So what we've got, I think it's 35 players. I also need to move Nicky Shorey because he shouldn't be after Brian Little down there.
Nicky Shorey.
Because this is done chronological from recent to past. Players who played for England, and this is chronological. So obviously most recent.
So we're kind of going from what 1971 to
I think it's 72. It's 72. Brian Little. I basically had to go to there to get Brian Little in.
Yeah.
Because I was like, and do forgive me, there will be one or two players that I personally just don't know much about them. And that's not because I don't care. That's just because of my.
You call yourself a Villa fan.
Look, I know them as Villa players, and I know their names. I know of them, great, like kind of thing. But I never saw them play. I've never seen them play. I've never seen footage of them. I haven't seen them, or I've seen bits probably, but I can't really make a call. So that would be Gary's time to try and shine.
And so on that note, a disclaimer, right? With those players we're talking about, I was only kind of 3 years old. So a lot of the information I've got is secondhand information from relatives and family members who spoke very highly of these players, particularly before 79 when I was born. Right. So I will give my insight to that because I think I have a little bit because I was brought up on these players and, so I've watched them. So, hopefully, again, if I get anything wrong, please drop us a comment and just, let us know. I'm happy to. This could be a learning process for us all.
Exactly. So we've got five levels here. We've got elite, quality, bang average, overrated, and trash. We haven't spoke about these before. We haven't spoke about like the rating of them at all. So we are going to be just doing this on the fly. So first up, Gary, Morgan Rogers. Where are we sitting him?
Mate, at the moment, right,
obviously it's early days, right?
It's early days for Morgan, but he's done exceptionally well this season. So if we talk about development of a young player from when we signed him, like January last year to now, to playing Champions League football and being called up for England, for me, my opinion, he goes in the quality section.
So one thing I want to try and explain also is obviously we need to try and like think about it from an England and a Villa standpoint. So obviously we could just look at them from their Villa credentials, which I don't think would be fair. So I think it has to be like the combined. So I would tend to agree, other than the fact he hasn't really done anything yet for England. It's very early days. So I would have him like at the bottom of quality. Like I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And but I think he's got the potential to go into that elite status. There's lots of talk around him, you know, in terms of what he could do for England playing in that false nine position, like instead of where Bellingham's potentially played or anything like that. Whether he gets the opportunity to do that, like he's arguably one of our best ball carriers, mate. And he's
I agree. Like, and I think he could be fantastic for England. There's not many players, and it's like, you know, Bellingham, and that's the difficulty, is him getting in the team. It's always going to be quite difficult for him. But I completely agree. Ezri Konsa.
Oh, this is difficult, mate, because I don't know if we want to change the bank.
Bearing in mind, everyone, we've got 35 players here, so we're not going to be able to go, you know, for 2 minutes per one. It'll only be
okay, but I just think the bang average just makes him sound like a dreadful player, but he's not quite elite. He hasn't played enough for England really to kind of put him in that section. So I would have to go bang average.
Mate, but you've literally just said the. You just put Rodgers in quality.
No,
mate.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the type of player, and we've got. I think there's better defenders within that England setup.
I think you're right, and also he. I mean, Southgate only saw him as a right back.
Yeah, annoying.
Well, so, Watkins. Look,
Ollie Watkins.
We're never going to agree. We're never going to agree on this one, so we're going to have to compromise somewhere. So where would you put Watkins?
Overrated.
Oh no, no. Look, he's going to probably become Villa's all-time top goal scorer. He's also scored in the last England tournament, arguably probably with the most important goal of the tournament.
Here we go. Just because he has one shot on target. What?
Mate, he's bang average. He's bang average across he's bang average for me. I would say in Villa team, in the Villa team, I would say he's like quality. He's not elite, because you're right. He could potentially have done better than he has. Like he would, definitely. But like, and then for the England team, he's probably like, you know, kind of overrated bang average element. So I think bang average is probably about right for him.
Mate, I think he's got a long way to go before he edges his way up that table. Like, I just do.
And the years aren't helping him.
He's running out of time, isn't he?
Jackie boy looking very sad here.
Mate, this breaks my heart, but you can't argue with the credentials that he's got. I think Jack deserves to be in the quality section. And if I'm just basing it on when he was at the Villa, which got him into the England team in the first place, when he played at the Euros, he impacted every game he came on in. There isn't a player like him who can damage people in the final third when he's allowed the freedom to play. Right?
I agree. I feel like Pep's kind of killed him.
Destroyed him, mate. Like, bring him home. Like, let's all jump into song and like Lamey's bring him home.
But he's just he's just one of those players where there's no one quite like him. And he can play on the left. He can play in the 10. He can play, you know, he can play in a variety of different positions. He can float around. He can interchange. But yeah, it just unfortunately hasn't quite worked out for him with the move. But and just to be clear for everyone, we've already said that elite, there's a maximum of 5 players that can go in there. So yes, quality. I think I agree. I think if he'd stayed at Villa, I think he'd be an elite now. I think he'd be.
I agree, mate. I think if we'd have been able to nurture him and he'd have been taken under Emery's wing, I think you would have almost a world-class footballer there. Because
obviously, we probably never would have had Emery, you know, sliding.
It's all ifs, buts, and maybes, isn't it? But you know, it would have been. It would be interesting to see him in an Emery squad, not being the main man and just having the freedom to to play. Do you know what I mean? So obviously we may never see it, but yeah, he's quality for me, mate.
We get to our final 11, seeing Jack in there in that team. Oh man, right. Anyway, Tyrone Mings.
He's there. He's every fucking where.
Yeah.
Tyrone Mings.
Roy Kent.
Yeah. Mate. Oh, this is. Ooh. I'd say okay. So from his Villa career, right, and what he's done for us, and as a servant, he totally deserved his England call-ups back in the day. I will say, and this is really difficult for me to say, but when he got into the England squad, his performances for the Villa dipped.
Yeah,
and he started making stupid mistakes, and and he was the scapegoat when he for such a period of time at Villa Park. Everyone, he's crap, and he was never crap, mate. The guy's an absolute natural born leader. I love this guy as a squad member. I think he is an integral part to us developing as a side. I do. I think we look better defensively within there. He does the dirty stuff really well. Again, for England, like he's just been overlooked under Southgate, even though he's left-sided centre half and kind of he hasn't had the opportunities.
He got injured at a bad time as well.
He got injured at a bad time.
I think he was starting to.
Under Emery, he had arguably started to eradicate those mistakes, and his form was coming back. So his injury came at such a horrible time for him. And I just think because he's been out for so long, I don't know. Bang average. It'd be bang average and quality, mate. Or in between.
I'm gonna say it's a bang average. I think the injury's really done him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If he'd been here last season, arguably though we might. Yeah, I mean we had Torres, but Torres were playing again sliding doors moment, but yeah, I think for me bang average. He just hasn't had enough consistent performances or appearances. For me.
Well, I've on TikTok. Anyone love Tyrone Mings? We're getting a lot of likes for Tyrone. 145 likes coming when we're talking about that, by the way. Just kind of...
Mate, Fabian Snake
trash! Kill him! No, mate, honestly, yeah. I couldn't hate a player more than Fabian Delph, right? That just... And for England, right? I think, and this sounds really bad, and we've already been slated for this, but I don't wish harm on anyone, but I don't know if you remember after the transfer saga of Delph, right, the Snake, where he then went on pre-season with Man City, and I think he injured his knee in the pre-season friendly, and then was out for like 6 months or something.
Every Villa fan was cheering.
You just go,
right.
And
I'm going to go,
but trash for me,
I'm going to go overrated. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think it was a relatively short period for me that
how many caps did he get for England?
When away the Villa side of it with England, I personally would say overrated. I think also a little bit of just a forgotten man. Like he's not one that kind of sticks in.
Yeah. He just dreamed off. He ended up at Everton, didn't he? And I don't think I think he's probably retired now. But how many caps did he get for England, Delph?
Sorry. This is based on our place that didn't have John Terry and didn't have Nicky Shaw in the list. So forgive me if it's incorrect. Six. Between 2014 and 2015.
Yeah. Probably at the height and when he was playing for Villa, right? And then he left and we got relegated. Right. Yeah, not that I'm bitter about that, but for me, I'm happy in the overrated, but that guy is absolute trash for me. Like absolute.
Because I think he was good when he was at Villa, like as in.
Yeah, he was. Mate, I loved him, but the whole that I can't. These things stay in my mind forever. Like I remember.
Gary Bear's grudges, people. Gary Bear's grudges, like Wizard Flap. Stop dissing
people in general life, mate. I try and move on. Like life's too short.
No, stop dissing how terrible Gary's house is. With Wizard Flaps. Right, Stuart Downing.
Again, mate, overrated. Just. Like completely overrated. It was a splash in the pan for us. And he went to Liverpool, didn't he? And we got 20 million for him. Yeah. And then that season, he had 0 goals, 0 assists. What a part we pulled their pants down and got 20 million quid for him. Like happy days.
He had 4 caps for England in 2011.
Yeah, so, mate, totally overrated for me.
Darren Bent. Well,
mate, Darren was
I remember when we signed Darren Bent, mate. That was bizarre.
It was because we got him in the January transfer window.
Came out of nowhere.
And he went on and scored 14 goals that season and kept us up.
I remember the City goal. I remember that was the first goal, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, it was.
1-0.
Although, listening to him on Talk Sport, I don't think he's a fan of the Villa, mate. Or if I'm honest, he's a massive Arsenal fan, and he doesn't speak very highly of us.
Ipswich, Arsenal.
Yeah.
All them guys on Talk Sport. I bloody love listening to Gab just because he's such a
Villa fan.
He's brilliant. He's a Villa fan. He's just completely mindlessly dumb. But like, it's great.
Mate, Gabby's hope for us all that one day we could have our very own radio show, mate.
Yeah.
Big up to, and I've met Gabby a couple of times, mate. Like in terms of these, Villa star things, and spoke to him a little bit, and he's just. The lights are on, like, and that's the most important thing, right? And he's doing well for himself.
Darren Bent,
like, for me, I would say he's overrated. Again,
splashing the pan again, wasn't it?
Splashing the pan, did well for one season, but never really hit the heights. 6 caps, and even when he was at Spurs, when he was flying, like he didn't really get a look in, did he? I mean, he was up against, to be fair, fierce competition. So, Rooney and Owen and all that kind of jazz. Like it's just. You were never going to probably break him through that. So, overrated for me.
Stephen Warnock.
Overrated, mate. Overrated. Like again, didn't. He's one of those. But the only thing I remember about Stephen Warnock is the goal he scored against Blackburn in the Carling Cup semi-final at Villa Park when we won 6-4.
Would you potentially put him in trash? I would potentially put him in trash between the two.
Because
probably in that lowest tier.
I've got one memory of him, and that is literally that Blackburn goal. That's probably the only good thing he did. And also, he annoys me on TV. Like, I can't believe he's a pundit. Like, just boring as hell.
I just realised I thought I'd added him, but I can't see the picture of bloody John Terry. That's really annoying because I definitely added him.
Oh, you missed him off, haven't you?
God, I've missed it. Let me. If I click this, behind the scenes here now. You've seen.
We're behind the scenes. Come on, John.
Come on. Right.
What a picture! At least you got a fair picture. He's had his issues, John, hasn't he? But still, there he is. Look,
JT.
Behind the scenes, you didn't see that.
He would.
That's what we are. Behind the scenes.
Because he would have been around this time. So, okay, on to JT. For me. Even though, we're in the championship.
Can you say C-Mix? I'm just saying it. I've got people asking me to say stuff on TikTok now, mate. We're getting well. Like this is all.
What are they saying?
Oh, they're just saying, can you say C-Mix? I don't know what that means, I feel like this could be like a Simpsons moment where people go, "Can you ask for a Teresa Green?"
Anyway, right. JT. Now, for me, I think this is a consideration for elite based on England.
If we could just base it on purely footballing ability, mate, because he's questionable of his off-field antics, right?
No. I'm just talking on the pitch. Yeah, I'm not talking about.
If we're talking about on the pitch, mate, of course he's elite. He's won everything at the club level. He was that Chelsea team in the early 2000s, 2004, 2005 was an elite team. They were brilliant, and he was. I mean, he got away with everything, but. Like again, no nonsense centre half who would win everything.
Mate,
so.
he was just silly at that level as well. Mate, even if he joined us in the Premier League, it would have been so good for us. Like, but he was just at that level. It was a joke that he was in that league. If I'm honest.
Yeah, but that year he had with us, mate, in the Championship was him and James Chester were brilliant together. It was a great partnership. It was
ran the show. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right, Gabby.
Oh, Gabby. I mean, this is like what
he's a bit right. So now Gabby's obviously cult hero, currently Villa's top scorer, but obviously he was with us for so long.
Yeah.
By at points he was playing on the wing. At points he's a little. It's hard with Gabby because I love Gabby like as a cult thing, and obviously I watched him growing up. But when he was when he was on song, he was unbelievable. He was unplayable at times, but like. He's unfortunately a little bit of a joker kind of poster boy now, isn't he?
Well, if you look at it, like Gabby he had one thing, and that was pace. He was probably the fastest player in the Premier League for 4 or 5 seasons easily, right? And defenders absolutely feared that, rightly so. It's why he made as a pro. But I think there's probably a good fair few of us Villa fans that would argue with Gabby that when he had to think about anything, right, to do with football on the pitch, it just went to shit. He couldn't pick a pass. He couldn't finish. But in that instinct when he was gone and he was ahead, like there was no better, mate. He was unplayable, like you said. But I think for me, on the basis of that, considering he was Villa's all-time top goal scorer, he should have been in the England squad more, and he didn't because he wasn't really good enough. And I think bang average would be for me. I think he sits in the middle.
3 caps he got.
I know. He should have had more, mate.
Again, according to this thing, which I still don't trust, because I'm sure he got more than that, but maybe he was just on the bench a lot. Ashley Young.
Mate, this guy for me has to be in the elite. He has to be.
Absolutely elite. He's absolutely mate. He's still playing.
Yeah,
he's still playing. He'll play until he's basically just a walking skeleton. The guy he still looks 20. He still looks 20. Mate, he's absolutely different grade. He was for us. Oh my god, he was unbelievable. And then he was unbelievable at Man U. He was fantastic for England.
Brilliant for Inter. Came back to us and was brilliant. Just
unbelievable. Didn't leave on bad terms. Just quality. I was so gutted. I was so gutted when we didn't renew him, when we didn't extend him, when Emery let him go, and we were massively questioning it, going, "What? Why, you stupid idiot? Why didn't you?" And to be fair, we could have done with him that season.
Yeah, we could have.
Well,
particularly the experience in Europe, mate, in the Conference League. That European semi-final, we could have. I think he could have been the difference with him in the squad, but we'll never know. But he holds a massive place in my heart, and I just love him because I think he's an ultimate professional. I think
still chances made. Yeah, still chances made.
Sing it, oi, Ashley. Oi, Ashley Young. Mate, love it. I think if there was a player I was going to get on my shirt, still, it would be him. I think he's almost like legendary status.
You have to put A Young to make sure it's not Luke Young.
Yeah. The only criticism is that we never really won anything trophy-wise. If he'd won a trophy, he would have ultimate legendary status.
Well, we were close. And we also were so close to getting to the Champions League twice.
Mate, no one remembers close. No one remembers.
I know.
It's just frustrating, isn't it? But that 2010 Carling Cup final.
You say that could be the tagline of this season. No one remembers.
No, it could be. Yeah, it could well be. Mate.
Scott Carson.
Mate, he's got to go in the trash. Put him down with Stephen Warnock. He is, mate. He's in a lot of ways. This guy's my idol. He just sits on a bench, earning thousands of pounds a week, never having to play.
Two caps for England. Didn't really do a whole lot ever.
There's a couple of mistakes in there, weren't there? Not for me, mate. Trash talk. He goes down there in the trash.
Darius Vassell.
Again. Another Villa have been good at this, haven't we? Where we've created strikers who are rapid, right? And he was under Sven-Göran Eriksson. Eriksson loved him for England. He
22 caps.
Yeah, 22 caps. Like the Euros when it 2004.
Only over 2002, 2004 as well. So he played a lot of games in a short space of time.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, because he probably argued his best seasons for Villa before he go off to Man City. But again, not the sharpest tool in the shed because this guy's got access to physio and stuff. And there was a famous story where he drilled a hole into his foot to burst a blood blister. Mate, I get that if you're from a council estate and you've got no access to health or anything. But when you're a multi-millionaire, just go to the physio that you get for free. Your doctor will go, mate, we'll sort that out for you, no problem. Right? So, he unfortunately, bang average at best. I don't know what's overrated because he did score some goals, but I think a lot of these are going to sit in the bang average.
Well, I always remember some reason it's always England. It's always Villa players that miss penalties for England. And obviously Gareth Southgate, probably the most famous of them all, and then Darius Vassell. And it's just
giving us great memories, haven't they?
Yeah. Portugal. I think it was against Portugal.
It was against Portugal, yeah. And the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper stepped up and scored and saved the score. Just annoying. We had no. Didn't even have gloves on, took the piss out of us. Fucking
David
unbelievable.
James.
David James.
David James.
Well, mate, I think for difficult one, this. Yeah, I mean, when he came to the Villa, he was, beast of a human. Like,
yeah, he was.
And a great goalkeeper. Like,
he was like one of my kind of idols growing up because I was always quite good in goal.
Yeah,
and I loved playing in goal. And I was like, it was David
he
James.
was someone I looked up to.
Well, it was also the fact I had the name James. I was
he
like,
was a giant, mate. He was a giant goalkeeper friend. Oh, goalkeeper friend.
Yeah, no, I love Dave James.
Yeah, he was quality, mate.
So yeah, for me, would be in quality, but
no, I'll agree. For his career alone, from Liverpool, from coming to us, Man City, like he'd achieved a lot in the game, and he was good for England. So I'll agree with that. As goalkeepers go,
Gareth Barry. For me, there's only one place this guy goes.
Yeah, mate, it's got to be elite, and it has to be.
It's a shame the way he left. It's a shame with everything the way he left and stuff. But because obviously he was like, oh, I think at the time he wanted to play Champions League football or whatever, and he left a City who weren't even in the Champions League at the time. I think. So.
Yeah, but they were growing, mate, and we had an owner at the time who was basically having to sell the club because his wife was divorcing him. It was just like we didn't have. It was so annoying because. Again, I think that's why I might have known earlier. I think we were at a point, that transitional point, where we needed investment to get to the next level. 3 seasons in the top 6, looking to push into the top 4, and these players had to go. But Gareth Barry for the Villa was, another academy player that came through the ranks, was played in numerous positions, was absolutely one of the most consistent footballers I've ever seen. Like still today.
I always just remember as a kid, like not really noticing him and stuff, and then when I kind of grew older and I realised more about football, I started to notice him and be like, oh yeah, Gareth Barry's like quality. Because when you're younger, you just think about like those electric players or players who are scoring goals and that kind of thing. You don't really think about the ones that are just ticking it.
No.
Well, mate, penalties
as well, yeah.
Milner as well. Milner's up next, but even Milner used to just leather it.
Do you know who's a sensational footballer and believes deserves to be in the elite level? Because I once met him at a charity golf day, right? And I met him. I stood next to him at a bar, and I knew who he was. And like, I started to get sweaty palms, and I don't get nervous around a lot of people. But I was like, oh my god! And I couldn't even say hello. I just froze up. I wanted to say hello. I should have been like a normal person and gone, all right, Gavin, got a photo with him or something. But I just froze because he was at the height, and I was like, it's Gareth Barry.
Yeah, no quality.
And anyone that makes me do that, mate, is definitely elite level.
Yeah, quality all round. James Milner,
mate. I'm going to go quality. Not elite.
I think for us, it's just a shame what happened. Yeah, I think if I think he'd be, for me, from a Villa standpoint, he'd be elite if just what happened didn't happen. It wasn't his fault. He got swapped for Stephen Ireland.
Yeah, I would say that if you were going on, if we were talking about not England and Villa, if we're just talking about careers in general, he'd be elite. I mean, the guy's still playing at Brighton. He's an incredible professional, similar to Ashley Young, but we didn't have the longevity that we got from Ashley. And I think, like you're saying, the way that it all happened. Granted, it wasn't his fault, and I think it was part of the reason why Martin O'Neill left. I
don't know if you read Martin O'Neill's book. His autobiography. It was very interesting. He did talk about.
He spoke about it on Sport. I haven't read the autobiography, but he spoke about it on Talk Sport, didn't he? So I heard that interview. And I think, and it's a shame because Milner then went on and succeeded massively with Man City. Do you know what I mean? And that could have been our glory days, but we just didn't take it. So quality, but not quite elite. Just purely on the length of time he was at the Villa.
Has he stopped now? No, is it Brighton still?
Is it Brighton? Mate, I just said that. You don't listen to me.
Sorry. No, after don't you say stuff and I'm just reading stuff. I'm like, yeah. Because he also had. I don't mean it.
You sound like my wife.
We also forgot. We also forgot, by the way, Gareth Barry got 29 caps for England.
Yeah, sensational. Mate, he was quality. He was consistent, I'd say, for club and country.
Yeah. Right. Emile Heskey divides everyone. The little and large, part of the little and large crew. He was there alongside Gabby for years, and in the England team there alongside Michael Owen. Heskey.
But mate, he was there because he was just a giant, wasn't he? That flicked.
Well, he was the guy. It's almost like the Watkins argument, right? It's he makes space for everyone else around him.
Yeah.
And the thing with Heskey is that, and like the thing that always got me with Heskey's with England was that just various managers kept playing him as well. It wasn't like it was just like one manager that kept him in it. It was various managers.
Here's the thing. So I think Heskey was better for England than he was for any club at club level.
No, I agree with that.
Right.
I think he was an international man. He was really good.
Yeah. And it worked. And obviously, probably you could say, arguably, it worked when he played at Liverpool with Owen because they were playing week in, week out, and they would go to England and they had a great understanding, right? And I kind of missed that, the little and large show up front. But teams don't do it now.
It was like Carew and Gabby on it. It was like that
But for me, I think Heskey would sit on the bang average because at club level, he wasn't great, if I'm honest.
I agree. Lee Hendry, he had one cap for England in '98.
Oh, mate, I feel for Lee because I think Lee, similar to Grealish, was full of talent and could have been. He could have been like Gareth Barry. They came to the same ranks, but he went off the rails, mate, didn't he? And he's admitted himself, in terms of his mental health was not good, and he lost everything.
I remember when he started first coming up on Sky. I remember seeing him and going, "Fucking hell, Lee Hendry, what's he doing on there? He looks like a crack addict." Yeah, and then he now looks pretty polished now, doesn't
he? Yeah. Mate, do you know what? He got a lot of bad press at that time, and it cost him his Villa career and England career, really, at a time where he probably could have gone on and played at the highest level possible, mate, and achieved everything. And I met him. He played in the charity match for Abbey, in 2013.
He said, and he was unbelievable, wasn't he?
Mate, not only was he unbelievable on the pitch and destroyed us, we lost 9-3, but afterwards, mate, he was one of the few players of the old Villa starters that hung around for 2 hours afterwards, had photos taken with everybody, spoke to everybody, met Abs, and kind of I've got some wicked pictures, and we're going to do a show later on in the week, aren't we? I'll probably show them off. But he was great, and at a time where he was being slated, I'd love to put him in the quality category because I think he was a quality footballer. Yeah. But because he's only ever had one cap, I think he goes in the bang average section.
Bang average. Dion Dublin, Homes under the Hammers. Dion Dublin. Have you seen those fantastic? Jess's dad always sends me these things. It's drop on. They're like clip ups. It's like it'll be like football like pundits and stuff, all saying like it'd be like what was it? It was something to do with like in the box or something. It's like gotta get in the box. It'd be and it cut to lots of different managers saying, we just gotta load up the box. We just gotta get in the box. And then in there there'll be a cut to like Dion Dublin on Homes under the Hammer, like carrying a box. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Oh, it was like it rung through brick walls. It was like they run through brick walls for you. They run through and then every now and again it just cut in a Dion Dublin just knocking a wall on Homes and the Hammer. So funny. Absolutely kills me.
Well, the thing is, mate, with Dion, I feel this because he played in an age where that big striker up front was a necessity, wasn't it? Because the game was a bit more physical. And he did well.
Defender, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he did well for the Villa. But he wasn't the most technically gifted footballer, in my opinion. And actually, he probably should have done better for the Villa. He had his moments, but I don't remember. He's not a standout player in my mind. I like him as a character. I think he's a great, charismatic kind of guy who still speaks very highly of the Villa, and that's great. But as a player, I think he was overrated. I think he played in an age where they just wanted big guys up front, so he fit that stature.
The next one we can probably skip over quite quickly. Nicky Shuri.
Trash. Didn't even remember, mate. I didn't even remember him.
I don't know why he popped up into my head. I was just like,
mate, when you when you text me, right, I went, did he play for Reading? Right, I had to look up for it, like, no, and I thought, oh yeah, no, he did come to the Villa. Like, yeah, trash, mate, absolutely shocking player.
It was the Acorn shirt years, wasn't it? I think. It was,
Yeah. No, I remember. No, when you mentioned it, I was like, oh yeah, he did play, but crap, mate, absolutely crap. I can't believe he was in cap for England. What's going on there? I don't know who he was sleeping with, but like he managed to get in there. Well done,
Paul Merson.
Ah, mate. Okay.
Now, how many caps do you think he got for England? Now, so unless this is wrong.
Well, I don't think it was that many. I don't think it was. Because, yeah, well, mate, you got to remember, he was a cocaine gambling addict. So, like,
it was the same year as Lee Hendry as well.
Right, and he still, like, as a kid watching Arsenal growing up, right, at a time when they were getting into that point of becoming the Invincibles, and he was obviously coming to the end of his career with that. But for Arsenal, like, when he signed for the Villa, I couldn't believe it because I just watched him all my childhood. I thought he was a fabulous player. And again, this is where I sit because we're talking about like Villa and England, and if that's true, if anyone let us know if we're wrong about that. Paul Merson only got one cap for England. That was obviously probably down to personal reasons, I would have thought. So, as a player on a whole, absolute quality, I think, Paul Merson. But if we're talking about England performances with only one cap, you've got to say he's sits in that bang average. I don't know.
I think I'm going to point him into quality because I think he would be top end of quality and brought down by the England thing. I don't know. He's just also as a pundit, he's fantastic. But I think from a Villa standpoint, like I always just think of him personally. I think of him as a Villa player. I don't think it was the Arsenal years because it was just a little too early for me.
For me, as a teenager, when he played for the Villa, I was a teenager. Like it was the first player I remember thinking, God, we've got an absolutely like quality player. Like Asensio is now, like a baller. We've got a baller in the team, and that was big for me at the time.
Like David Ginola.
Yeah.
Big Stan Collymore.
Overrated, mate.
I think if you were asking a Forest fan, he'd be up in the kind of like quality level.
Mate, for me, I don't mind him as a pundit, but having watched his whole career, I grew up like in that Premier League debut when he played for Forest and all that, and great player, but mate, his attitude was all kinds of wrong. Like he's a player that never fulfilled potential for me, Stan, and could have been again like one of the best. And I just think there was a lot of hype around him. And when he came to the Villa, being a local boy, he was so hit and miss. Like he could be brilliant and change a game, and then would go missing for games on end. I think he was massively overrated for the potential and the technical ability that he did have. But we didn't see it enough. So I would say he's overrated.
I agree. Hugo, big Hug.
Rest in peace, mate. I love this guy. Like I just thought he was sensational as a centre half, and as a person. I met him once in the Dome nightclub.
Really? What a random thing.
Yeah, this was, and I was the only one that recognised him. Like, and he was just in there, and this guy would have been loaded at the time. We're talking probably 97, 98. This was right. And I bought him a drink. I know after he was like, thanks. We had a chat stuff. Had a photo taken on a Polaroid, like right. This for the younger ones before the camera phone was invented, right? And I walked away and I thought, why have I bought him a drink? I'm a student. I've got no money.
Oh, incredible! Where are you putting him?
He was quality. I think he deserved to be in quality, and maybe that's just to honour his memory. I think he arguably wasn't recognised enough as a quality defender.
I think if he had more of an England career, he probably would have been in that elite level. But yeah, I agree with quality. Gareth Southgate, trash,
absolute trash. Can't stand this big nose.
Okay.
Pizza missing penalty.
Ignore the whole England manager thing. Ignore the whole England manager thing. Gareth Southgate.
Trash. Mate, even as a player for us, if you don't put him in trash, right, I'm walking off.
He's not trash. He was not trash, was he?
Okay. I'll at best, I'll give him overrated.
Oh, mate, it's so bad. I hope you're joking. Like, surely that.
Well, okay, no, where are you putting him then?
I'm putting him in the quality.
Quality?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, come on. No. Yeah.
I've got to put him in the quality. He also had 42 caps for England.
I know. And he was crap for
yes,
all of
okay,
them.
okay. He didn't win the thing, but he then went on to become England manager, and he got
Crap.
us to like semi-finals and finals of.
Oh, here we go, mate. I tell you what, you can take this one, you can have it, but and put him in quality, fine. But I'm telling you, that man is trash and deserves to be in the trash. If we're talking
I'll
about,
put him in the bang average for you. See, if anyone else has made it 40 minutes, congratulations. Can you please tell us in the comments what you think about Gareth Southgate?
No one's doing it. We're literally doing this ourselves now, mate. For the 2 episodes. For 40 minutes in. It's crazy.
Kevin Richardson.
Quality player, mate. But I would go with trash for us. Like he was great at Man United, but never kind of hit the heights.
No, never really did it. No, didn't. Earl Barrett.
Again, I think he got 1 cap for England, mate. He's not one. Again, a player that I kind of vaguely remember playing for Villa, but nothing that was exceptional. I'd go trash again.
Trash. Tony Daly.
Oh, mate. This is the guy that got me supporting the Villa, mate. My first game at Villa Park, I think was mid-80s, 1988, I think it was, 87, 88. And it was Villa-Liverpool. We drew 1-1, and this guy was absolutely electrifying.
Yeah, he's unbelievable to watch.
He was just brilliant, and he tormented Liverpool. And I think David Platt scored our goal, if I remember correctly. And I was hooked from that day forward. So for me, this guy was quality. Not elite, because he didn't
7 caps as well. 7 caps, which is
7 caps. Yeah. And mate, one of my best ever Villa goals was his flying volley against Everton, against Never ball from the right hand side, and he scissor kicked it on the edge, and he just it's a brilliant goal. Just loved it, mate.
Right, big face, David Platt.
Again, this one, I think quality, not quite elite, but he's given me one of the best World Cup memories ever, mate. In 1990,
22 caps, 22 caps, one of our highest cap players ever.
Yeah, he was sensational for England, but the best memory against Belgium, end of extra time, to score that volley over the shoulder, mate. I was 11, and in my house, the euphoria, like scenes you've never seen anything like it. It's one of my best childhood memories. That is, like, so, and I loved him from that day forth. He also, interestingly enough, this is a shout out to my beautiful wife. She has the same birthday as her, 10th of June.
So that's nice.
There you go.
Lovely. Steve Hodge. Hodge. I'm sure for someone, Steve Hodge's name probably means a whole lot more than it just.
I'm sure his family are very proud, mate, and he's got an England shirt on. And I think he's
also. Sorry.
We interrupt this viewing because James has lost his shit.
Oh God, sorry, that killed me. He's also got a fantastic little barnet as well. He's got a lovely head of hair.
Because I pretty much Hodge was around in the 80s, wasn't he? Hodgepodge was around in the 80s, which was I was a young kid then. Like, if we're talking, I think 86. Was he in the 86 squad? Is that an 86 shirt?
It was 86. Yeah, 86.
Yeah. So I think I think he played in that World Cup, mate. And I think if you spoke to Gary Lineker and co, they'd probably say he was a great player. But
shall we put him in bag average just to
bang average? Yeah.
Good old Nigel Spink. Spinksy and Butchie. I'm McAnally. The boys are gonna do us fine.
Again, mate.
You're blue nose bastard, and you ain't no friend of mine.
All together now. But we won't say the C word because I don't know where I sit on that. My kids will be watching this. It's horrible.
Spinks.
So Spink, mate. Again, he sits in that elite level for me, mate. He's a European Cup winner. Do you know what I mean? He came on and changed that game, and again, not recognised for England because he was just never going to kind of beat. So I don't know if he gets the elite thing, but from a Villa perspective, he does because he's the guy's a legend.
I'm going to put him in quality because he had 1 cap.
Yeah.
So back averages it out. Now, we might get to the end where actually we have a spare slot in the elite, and then we can look at everyone and work out if anyone goes in.
Well, but I will say this, mate, because that era of players, that 82 European Cup winning side, right, were grossly overlooked for the England team. Like they, we won that league and that trophy with like 13, 14 players, and the majority of them were English, obviously, because they had to be. But the stats are there, whether they're right or wrong. But you're talking 1 or 2 caps between some of arguably the country's best players. It didn't seem fair. I think it just shows the level of corruption in the FA has been there forever. Hence why Jordan Henderson is just rocking up to training for England today.
Gordon Cowans.
Mate, Sid, he's got to be elite for me.
Yeah, he's in the elite. He also had 8 caps. Over 7 years, though.
Well, mate, again, grossly overlooked, but this guy was a baller at the time. And you think about the pitches like he played on and stuff. Like, I'm not comparing to George Best, but in terms of with the access that they had to facilities, this guy was next level. Like, I remember my stepdad, like, just was the biggest fan of this guy. Would never shut up about him. So I grew up in a house that I idolised Cowans. And he was coming to the end of career when I first started following the Villa when I was about 6 or 7. So I only saw him play kind of 1 or 2 seasons. But what I remember about him, it stays clear in my head, like 2-foot, he'd take corners from both sides with either foot. And he could, he had, for the younger viewers, he had the passing range of Trent. Like, it was just as good, mate. He could ping 70-yard balls. He could pick passes out. He was sensational.
That was with those old leather boots and big chunky balls and everything. And grass was like probably a bit sketchy and all that kind of thing. So it's pretty impressive that he was able.
It's why he's valued so highly by the club, right? They are kind of obviously. I know his health's not been great recently, but he's a massive ambassador for the club, and he's loved by everybody. So I think he's elite. If anyone disagrees, come at me in the comments.
If you're still there
after 47 minutes.
Tony Morley.
Well, what do you say, mate? This again up there with one of the best wingers I've ever seen. I grew up in a household that I had to watch that 1982 season on video, VHS, over and over again. Once I started supporting the Villa, it was just played over and over again. And that guy was mesmerising, mate. He just used to. He reminded me of, again, for younger viewers, Ryan Giggs. The way he ran at people, like he just turned them inside out and kind of create chances, could score goals. I think again it's close to elite, but I don't know if I think quality for now, and we'll see if there's
we'll reassess. Peter With
quality again, mate. Not quite elite, but the reason why he was quality and not quite elite, obviously he scored the winning goal in the European Cup final, he's close to elite because he came in after we sold Andy Gray. I don't know if you know much about it, but Andy Gray was quality for the Villa and left because he was in financial ruin, basically, and needed the signing on fee to pay off some debts in a nightclub, so my father-in-law tells me. And so that 1981-82 season, we were massive, we weren't expected to do anything because we just sold our best striker, and we've got this unknown guy who played for the Blues. Boo, right?
Who, by the way, Peter With, apparently, I think it's his brother, lives up the road from Jess's parents.
Oh, there you go. Well, you should kind of get him round for a podcast.
Yeah, so you can get Pete. Yeah,
get him on. Come on, Pete. Come and say hi. So yeah, just other than that season, I don't. How many caps did he get for England? It wasn't many, was it? Again, I think he was
11. To be fair.
Oh, he got 11.
Yeah, 11. Decent.
Wow. I think I was thinking of Brian Little because I know he only got 1. Anyway, yeah, not quite elite for me. I know because if I'm honest, I only ever saw Peter With over that winning season. I haven't seen anything beyond that says kind of he was quality. If I'm wrong, I can come at me. But yeah, so quality for me.
And then one last one. Oh no, there's 2. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to move this. John Gidman. Well,
so again, this is before my time, but my current father-in-law is like a massive fan of this guy. He always says to me, best right back Villa's ever had, like kind of attacking, kind of defending. He just had it all. I don't even remember him playing, if I'm honest, but I just thought this is a shout out to my father-in-law. So he goes in the quality section for me because he sounds like he was the complete right back. If I'm wrong, again, educate me, baby. But I'm going off what I know as family members, and he, to me, sounds like he could have done an absolute job, and we could do with him.
I'm just going to zoom in on this fantastic photo of Brian Little. Look at it.
Look at that.
Is he yawning? It's a fantastic mark. I love the straight cut as well across the front here. It's just
mate, it's like his mum's just done that haircut before he went out on the Wembley turf. Like
he for me, right? So obviously for England, only one cap. Yeah, I'm going to put him in quality, and now basically we've got to choose one of these players to go into the elite.
To the elite. Ooh. Okay. Who are you going for?
I would say probably on the balance of it, I would probably go for Platt.
Mate, that's what I was going for. So it's 100%.
There we go. There's our tier list. Let us know if you've made it this far, if you agree with that. And obviously give us your own. Like make your own little tier list and see what you think and let us know what you think. What we're going to go on to now, though, is our all-time of those players starting 11 for Villa.
Here we go.
So, take me through it, Gaz. Obviously, don't make it like an absolute like essay because
obviously we've spoken about each of these players. I just think this brings a great balance to the side. It's a very attacking team. It's full of running. It's full of energy, and that's why I've gone for. I've just quickly do it. Spink was the first goalkeeper that I ever saw play like in my knowledge of Villa. So and the fact that he won the European Cup with us and that he changed the game when he came on in that final, he gets a goal. Gidman, as I've just explained. Ekiog for me, I was going to swap him for Terry, mate, but I think just because Terry was only there for one season, and yes, he was an elite player, but I loved Ekiog at the time, and I think him and Mings would partnership really well. Like I just two man mountains to get past. I think that you'd struggle, and then obviously Ashley Young speaks for himself. Like he could play wing back still, couldn't he? I'd just have him coming over attacking with down that side. Cowans, as I explained. Baller, mate, spreading balls left, right, and centre, just playing probably in front of Gareth Barry, who's playing as a holding midfielder, controlling the game, and then Morley on one wing, Daly on the other, like proper wingers, mate, proper wingers taking on players, and with Grealish as a free false nine, just destroying teams like he could do back in the day, and those front three there, Morley, Grealish, and Daly would be like, mate, just go and destroy teams, go and do whatever you want, and Peter With. Get on the end of any good balls coming in, which he would do. I think for me, I mean, that team, I look at that and go, oh, that excites me. I love it. Like, just imagine that playing for like, boom.
So
we'd win the World Cup with that team, mate. We'd win the World Cup.
My team's obviously different, and it's also a very different age and era, right? Yeah. No, you're going to hate this.
I'm going to hate this.
You're going to absolutely hate it. So, right. So
we can't be friends anymore.
Right. So David James, obviously, like I said, was an idol growing up for me. It was quite difficult with goalkeepers because obviously I know Spinks. I know Spink as a legend, but I never saw him. So
yeah.
I would have changed Southgate out for John Terry. By the way, if I'd had time.
Mate, you can do that if you want. Have you got? I'm just going to use a pen just to scribble your name out. Go on, get on.
So Terry, Ekiog, Mings. I've gone for a back three here.
Yeah, interesting.
I've gone for a back three so that I could fit in all these players basically. So I was thinking Gareth Barry would drop into that left back role as we would go forward. So Milner would come more centrally alongside Rodgers, who would be marauding forward.
It's interesting you put this is your. It's interesting you've gone with Rodgers, like considering he's had like 2 caps for England. And
I think with Rodgers, I'm thinking I'm going more on potential. I'm going with Rodgers. I'm going more on potential. I'm going like right now. If I had these and I had Rodgers in there, for me, I've got to have, like he's one of the best marauding, bulldozing midfielders I've seen in a Villa shirt.
How do we set up like a football manager for my 11 against your 11 and see what happens? Because I reckon I'm destroying your team, mate. Like
you probably would do, but unfortunately, half the players you've got I've never seen play, so I'm just like I have no idea.
I reckon 8-0 minimum.
Ashley Young bombing down the right, even though I've got him labelled as left wing back. You can see that I had to do all this last minute, don't I? And then Watkins up front, simply because he's got to become our all-time goal scorer, and some of the goals that he has scored for England. That goal they scored for England, I just can't remember. That will be an iconic moment for so many kids.
Well, yes, of course, mate. I'm not disputing that. But if our team was going up against your team now,
and Barry, for me, that was them two in the middle was just unbelievable.
Mate, I could take all my defenders out of my team now and leave Watkins up front on his own, unmarked, and he still wouldn't score. So, like,
you got Grealish, you got Rodgers running alongside, you got Ashley Young cutting in from the right. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I understand the formation, mate. It looks great, but I just think if we're talking about all-time starting 11, like, I can't. We're going to strongly disagree. Southgate nowhere near my team. Fucking Watkins, no chance. But the rest of it, I can almost forgive you. Like Milner and Barry together, fine. But the Watkins thing. I mean, he's not quite there.
I was tempted to put Vassell in there, or Heskey.
Anyway, well, you could have played Heskey up front with Watkins, maybe.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, that might work.
No,
Anyway, I mean, it's kind of like why we want Marlon.
Anyway,
right. I'm exhausted after that.
Mate, but I'll tell you what, that was exhausting, but that was fun. I can't believe it's 56 minutes because that's gone really quickly talking about it.
It's flew, but Jesus, that was a long time. If anyone's still here, thank you so much for watching.
Not. No one's here.
Subscribe, Josh will watch it. Subscribe, give us a comment. Let us know who you think we've missed out. Who's your all-time 11 if you managed to get to the end there?
Yeah, let us know.
Maybe people skip through, guys. I might put a chapter, on the YouTube chapter.
Yeah, put a chapter. Yeah. Do a chapter. Because we can cut that. I could put that on TikTok as well for,
the two people watching it.
Yeah, 2 people watching it.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, everyone. Well, thank you as always. Subscribe, leave your comments. We will be back next week, I think, with a little bit of special around Acorns. Something that's very close to Gary's heart.
It is.
So we will be talking all things about Acorns, what they've done for the club, what they've done for Gary, what they've done for his family and his daughter and stuff. And so until then, up the Villa. Gary, sing us out.
Stay tuned. Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue.
In a bit.
Peace and love.